I am an artist. I see beauty and creativity in the most ordinary things. I actually like abstract art. I love the philosophical study of representation, expression, interpretation, and aesthetics. For those of you wondering, yes, I know you can't see me. I once enjoyed being invisible, so nobody could critique me. I was lost, and I struggled to find acceptance. So I thought invisibility was my only strength to carry me through. That was until now. Growing up, I wanted to be a painter. I was taught to live by an ideal image of masculinity that fuels aggression, domination, hatred. For 5 years, I attended a grade school with only one class of 30 students per grade. Of course, everyone eventually grew tired of each other, and I started to feel suffocated by the gender stereotypes supported by society. Children as young as 5 are exposed to this toxic underground system of beliefs that thrive on being unacknowledged. Throughout my entire life, my accepted reality was that normal girls were nurturing and submissive, and normal boys were rowdy and into competitive sports. As a scrawny, shy boy who didn't fit the mold, I struggled to fit in. I chose to spend my time in the art room, and like other Wallflowers, I suffered from the painful embarrassment of sticking out like a sore thumb. I felt scared to show my authenticity, so I subdued any interest in art for years to come. Every single person during their childhood experiences figuring out who they want to be when they grow up to fit into such a big society. I feared going out into the world and having my dreams crushed. Now, a lot of people struggle to give themselves permission to be expressive. We desire to be successful, and society has taught us that success and creative passion are mutually exclusive, meaning they rarely go hand in hand. If given the opportunity between practicality and one's dream, many people choose a path out of practicality, which is really a path chosen out of fear. What we desire to be often seems impossibly out of reach, especially in the Bay Area, home to some of the most competitive people I have met in this life alone. Growing up here, I felt compelled to venture into tech or medicine. It took me years to realize that the world cannot and will not define who I am because I am the only judge of myself. Now, most people don't spend their lives thinking about their future. They have a life to live, obligations to fulfill, and they're not concerned about who they are in society until the unimaginable fate strikes. You lose your grandparents. You lose a child. You experience grief. All of a sudden, the world you once knew is shattered, and you're left with a missing piece of the person you used to be. That is the moment you realize the necessity of human creativity. You are desperate to fill in that empty void. Creativity guides you in that grief to pick up the pieces and keep on moving with your life. With creativity, we crawl out of our shells and begin to notice the common humanity that unites us. In the 7th grade, I started to grow closer with my art teacher. It was the year my grandfather passed away, and I was suffering from the impact of my parents' grief and my own grief as well. My art teacher became my main outlet to release my own discouragement to want to move on with my life, knowing at the time I was facing larger-than-life emotions that muted me into episodes of hell. One day, she offered me a leadership opportunity to be the art director of the student council. She wanted to shed light on a male's perspective of art. And that was the moment my world expanded. She acknowledged the side of me I had hidden out of fear for so long. Instead of hoping that this part of me would magically obliterate and I would finally be accepted by the people around me, she showed me how connected humans all are despite our identities. My art teacher's creativity led her to reach out to a student in need. She offered me a hand, to extend her bridge, to pull me out of that void full of fear, the fear of not being normal enough to be accepted by the people around me. The effect we have on others and ourselves is the most valuable form of currency. My fear acted as the enemy in my life by keeping me away from pursuing my interest in art. Everyone has the power to decide whether or not to allow the fear to subdue them. You can either choose to spend your entire life listening to your inner demons and constantly living in fear, or you can choose to live life the way you want by following your passions. The decisions we make in this moment are on the basis of either fear or passion. Decisions made from either listening to the head or following the heart. I regret not following my heart and allowing the fear of humiliation to stand taller than me. Anybody can be a survivor from their own fear. I became a survivor that day because I made the conscious choice to allow myself to be expressive of the artistic side I had suppressed for so long. Before I could survive, I had to know myself. I didn't love myself enough to want to know who I was. I was left stabbed by everyone's words behind my back, an odyssey of healing I'm still enduring to this day. So I learned that you are constantly changing, and that knowing yourself is a lifelong process. To help, you can ask yourself this question to guide you. What do you love? You can then use your love to combat fear, because love is the enemy of fear. If you let the fear in, you are only allowing the world to choose your narrative, and you don't get to live the life you want because you let your inner demons win. Fear bleeds into your imagination and writes this screenplay that illustrates the potential scenarios awaiting you. This same screenplay distorts your own sense of the reality, creating a motion picture drama I like to call I Can Never Fulfill My Dreams. Human creativity is liberation manifested inside of us. Human creativity is an old-fashioned value that remains a survival need for humanity. It unshackles us, letting us go into this escape from the problems of our superficial society and guides our interactions with one another. Human creativity is freedom. In our society, depending on our identity, that freedom can be taken away from us. These accepted stereotypes of gender are harmful in many ways, but most importantly, by impairing our abilities to love others and ourselves just the way we are. In truth, we aren't always doing what we love because we fall in that habit of preferring practicality over expression. Don't let your fear and what the world will have to say about you prevent you from doing what you love. What you want to fulfill lies beyond the perception of others. If you allow yourself to follow what you love, who you are shines through. It's your life, not anybody else's to dictate. Claim it like it's yours. By yours truly, Matthew Tran, and thank you.